Hello, my name is Cynthia and welcome to my flosstube channel. I'm happy to be here with you today to talk to you about all the things I've been creating over the last couple weeks. I'm maybe blown out a little bit with light here because I'm sitting in front of a snowy window. We are snowed in Fort Worth. Everything is shut down, the schools, the businesses, the roads are pretty icy right now, and we're not really equipped for that in North Texas. So here I sit in a quiet bedroom. It's about the only place I can find in the house with all 6 of us home. So if you hear any background noises, pardon that. But I had been a little bit delayed. I had made a community post on the day I expected to film, just to let y'all know what's going on. I had hoped to film on the 1st, but was still recovering from COVID. I was tested positive Monday, today's Thursday, and just had a really sore throat. I thought, I have got strep throat, there's no doubt. And I called my brother and he was like, no, it hasn't had enough time to be strep. It's just viral, hang in there. I can't give you any antibiotics. My brother's a doctor. And so sure enough, I tested positive the next day and go for COVID. And I thought, well, no wonder. I've had the worst headache of my life and the worst sore throat. But I have really felt pretty good. Otherwise, it's hard to sleep at night because of all the pain in my throat and the sinus congestion and stuff. But it's as much the weather here in Fort Worth as anything. It was 70 degrees on Monday and now it's 20 something. So that's a lot of changes in the pressure. But other than my voice, which is still a little scratchy, pardon that, I am doing great. And I'm just so grateful that this COVID round was nothing like last year's experience. It actually delayed my Snowman Parade last year as well. If you recall, I was much more ill though. I had pneumonia. I was in the hospital getting transfusions. I was on oxygen for almost a month. It was a very dark time for me. So the contrast of this experience has just made me feel so grateful overall. And thank you for the well wishes I received here on YouTube and on Instagram for my returned health. And I think they are being answered. So let me start off with, I have so much to show you. I have been just a little snowman crafting maniac, I guess. I made a few things fully finished that you'd seen partially finished. I'll start with these guys. They're so cute. These are my, I think it's called Fat Snowman Embroidery from Chestnut Junction. And I showed you last time the first one I made with more of a coffee color. So these are a little bit different. I made the first one for me because I find even with my finishing that I make mistakes, you know, that I have to kind of iron out. And I thought, well, these are gifts, the other 3. So let me make mine my kind of guinea pig. And so that's what I did. This guy, he's a little crooked on the bottom. I forgot to really level him out because he is such a straight line of stitching. And I didn't have a bell for him, but he turned out still pretty cute. I like the black and white check fabric from Walmart that I had gotten. I don't think they have it anymore. They had little fat corners for 99 cents, and I wish I'd gotten more because I love this fabric. It works really cute with the snowman, I thought. And then the wool is from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they still have that anymore. I got it on clearance. It's real chunky, but it doesn't fray, so I like the color of it too. And like I said, I made several of these, so let me see if I can hold them all without knocking them over. I did have a few questions from my last video, and it may have even been 2 back from, I was trying to remember the name, I wrote it down. Candy asked if I could show a little bit more about how to embroider, and I am not an expert. In fact, I'm a little bit shy to send out some of these gifts because one of my friends in particular is just a master seamstress, and I know that my stitches are not at that level. But I hope that, you know, the gift of love will come through. But I would refer anyone who's interested in learning more about embroidery to Bonnie, the log cabin stitcher. I know I watched a video of hers that really detailed how to make your stitches tiny and perfect, how to trace your patterns. One thing I did try on this one, I used to do pencil real lightly, but I enjoyed using the flexing pen. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Flexion, flexion. That is erasable, and it actually went away when I traced one of these guys and I messed up really badly. So he had a whole bunch of pen that was like kind of blobbed together, and the iron took all of it away. So that was a tip as far as how to trace your patterns. This is just sheet, old sheeting material that I have. Excuse me, got the hiccups. I will use anything. In fact, a big part of crafting that I enjoy is being frugal and really challenging myself to use and upcycle things. I'll show you some more things that I made in that manner, but these kind of gifts are perfect for that because, I mean, you basically just use some scrap fabrics. I love these little bulb pins. They have an open bottom so you can put charms. I got them on eBay, I believe, and I got the charms on eBay as well. There's a bag of like 100 for like $5, and some of them are weird, like marijuana leaves and stuff, but I just throw those away. But there's lots of crosses and little keys and little hearts, and so they're very cute. And like I said, I think I got like 99 pieces or something, so it's fun to use those. And then I have a bunch of mother of pearl buttons, and those are just kind of my favorite part, is to do the embellishments. And three of these will go out in the mail to some stitchy friends who had blessed me, and I hope that they bless them in return. The other finish I had, I wasn't exactly intending. I thought it might be in February that I finished this, but with feeling poorly with my sore throat and headache, Lizzie Kate was about all I could handle. And she's always just so fun. I pulled out my Mary string. I can't remember where I got this Aida fabric from. I want to say my daughter had someone give her a kit, and it was like kind of weird clowns or something that we would never stitch. And so my 16-year-old Sophia, so she said, "Here, Mom, do you think you could use this?" And I was like, "Of course." I took the fabric out of the kit. It's just some stiff, crunchy Aida, and I dipped it in camel. I wadded it up. It got pretty blotchy. It's not my best dyeing job, but when you're using it for just such a small amount, this is enough to do all the strings. I got some of my Christmas money. I had the Thankful string. Let me show you these real quick. Let's see. Thankful string is the kind of fall one. It has a turkey. I know Priscilla took the turkey off, but I'll probably leave that on. And then I got the Buzzy string for summer, and I'm planning to use the same fabric for all of them. And here is the Snowy string that I just finished. So it's a super quick stitch. It's so tiny, but it's a lot of fun. And I don't know how I did it, but I think I mismeasured. There's supposed to be a big snowflake right here between these guys. And as I was getting closer, I thought, I don't think I'm gonna have room. And so I just real quick left that spacing off, and I'm right. I think I would have run out of fabric, and it would have been too wide for this. I'm not sure why this one, it may have been a little different than the Mary string. I measured off of the Mary string with my fabric, and it was a little bit short. So I forgot to look at the numbers, but I love the cardinals. Someone said, "Oh, we call them redbirds too," and I did that without even thinking, because that's what my grandma called them, redbirds. We have lots of cardinals here in Fort Worth in our backyard. I used a seafoam green. I didn't have any of the called for colors. And then just whites and blacks. I think that's a Victorian Motto, that kind of straw colored one. And then just some DMC. And like I said, I had this board from my Mary string, same one. I just put it on washers. It's such a quick and easy finish. And I did use hot glue all over the fabric because this is a tiny one. I'm not going to lace it. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be fine. And I was going to put a bow on, but I don't think I have room. And so I'll insert a picture of, or a video of what it looks like on my counter. Actually, let me wait just a minute. There's a few other things I'm going to show you that are up there as well. When I'm done with showing you all the finishes, I will insert that little video of my kitchen window that I use kind of as my display since I'm doing dishes all the time. So that was my other finish. I guess that'd be number 5 if you count all 4 pillows, which I always like to. And I wanted to show you this one too. This was from last time. But last time I showed you that I had cut off part of the stitching, and it was so simple to go back in. Now it's very close, but I just sewed this on my sewing machine and tacked it back around, and it's all better. So that was a repair that I did, and a lesson that I hope I have learned well too. What is it? Haste makes waste. So slow down and take your time. Here is my other finish that is new. You haven't seen this yet. I had, I think, shown you the pattern last time, and I got this on Etsy from, I'll have to insert it. I couldn't find the pattern. Roxy's letting herself get real comfortable here, excuse her. And taking it upstairs. I got some new bins for my punch needle and my wool because I'm kind of overgrowing the little baskets I got, so I had to get some bigger bins, and I took that pattern up. But it looks pretty much like this, except mine is quite a bit bigger. I think the original would have come maybe like the width of my hand instead of the height of my hand, and based on this snowman, I was going to say silhouette from Mary Poppins. You know how Dick Van Dyke says it, silhouette. The snowman silhouette is a little bit big. If my snowman was sitting here, I think it would have looked out of proportion. So I'm glad I thought about that and kind of laid it up there. And it's so easy to change a punch needle pattern to 30% on your copier and then just trace it. It did take a lot longer in that sense. I think this one was only supposed to be like 4 inches high, and instead it's probably closer to maybe 6, but it's fine. And I didn't follow the directions as far as what colors to choose. I was watching somebody yesterday who was at Lori from Once Upon a Stitch. Lori said, I don't change my colors 99% of the time. And I thought, that's funny. I'm the exact reverse, Lori. I do change my colors 99% of the time. I use the called for 1% of the time. And this, most of the time it works out. Most of the time it's fine. But this kind of burned me a little bit because I'm not as used to punch needle. Like, I can't visualize. This is, I think, my 5th punch needle I've ever done. I can't visualize how it's going to turn out, and I was using a really variegated Valdani. It was called like Old Black, and I thought it would be more consistent in the way it swirled. I tried to get it to do that, but it ended up really blurring out those leaves in a way I didn't like. And then I ended up having to use a solid black around the snowman anyway, so I ran out. But I wish I had used the color that she had called for, or I had just gone with DMC black. I think I would have had a better result with these leaves. The other thing is, I think the leaves are too dark. You don't fill in the surrounding colors until the very end, so when you've got the leaves all by themselves, it's like, oh yeah, it looks fine. But then when you put the color around it, it sometimes won't stand out, or it's wrong. And so I should have used a lighter green. I just picked something out that I had, like 934, 936, something like that. But it's okay. I think that it turned out really cute overall. I debated on putting a face on this snowman. In fact, I kind of chalked one in at one point. I was like, no, that's weird. So I erased that, and then I did go ahead and put a little bow on his hat. There's a button here layered with a Walmart snowflake button. So I think it finished off cute. It would have looked a little bit plain up top if I hadn't. So there's my punch needle finish. I don't intend to do another one till I have a rooster that I want to do in the summer. So it'll be a while before I get another one finished, but there's that. And then finally, I have finally done my snowman for the Snowman Parade. Someone said, oh, you've had such a good Snowman Parade. I'm like, well, I guess so, but I really intended this one piece to be my snowman for the SAL, So a Snowman SAL 22. Several of you participated. I will be inserting the photos at the end, but here is how my guy turned out, and it was fun. I always have a little bit of a struggle with some of the finishing details because, oh, he's looking a little bit, I think I smashed his face. With some of the details, I think it never looks exactly like the picture because, you know, I have a different set of sticks that she's using, and I have different paint, and it just says use white paint and black paint and sticks. And I think these were supposed to be from a cinnamon wreath. You know how they make those really scented, heavily scented ones? My daughter has allergies, so we can't have those in our house. I had some kind of twining It's in here too. The willow, I had it on my front porch. It twirls like that. You buy it at Hobby Lobby in a giant coil and you uncoil it. I just snipped some of that off to kind of approximate the leaves she had shared. Let me show you the picture from Denise, the original designer. Hers is a little grungier than mine, I think. Here's her, see there's like a cinnamon wreath kind of arm, and then she used one twig for the nose. My nose, I don't know if it's because it curves or because of where I put it. I almost think it looks like a mustache, but that's okay. And I don't mess with French knots anymore. I have had some of them pulled out in my finished parade, I remember, and they just are really hard to get through this tough canvas or this tough muslin after it's painted. It feels more like canvas. So I use a Sharpie marker for the eyes and mouth. I can get it much better, and I like the way it looks. So I just saved myself the headache and did it that way. The hat is so cute. I did put some coffee stain on that. That's the other thing I did not do. I did not coffee stain the body. I don't know what it is with snowmen. I was a little afraid that I hadn't gotten the paint very consistent, and I didn't want it to look real super blotchy, so I left that off. I stained the fabric here for his scarf, and I stained his hat like I said, but I did not stain his body. So he sits in this enamel. It's kind of hard to show him. I can insert a picture later. It almost looks like he's like a bird in a nest, but I just wanted him to kind of have this fun. This looks kind of Valentine-y to me with the red. I didn't do any other, like overtly Valentine touches, but anyway, he's cute. I painted these bells with brown and black craft paint because I'm too cheap to buy rusty bells. And I had some metal ones, and then those are those little bulb pins. Again, I couldn't find my safety pins. I have some, but I've tucked them away somewhere. So I finished him this morning. He's got his head a little bit to the side, but he's still cute. And my daughter said he looks like a peanut with a pumpkin on his head. I was like, yeah, that's kind of close, but he's still super fun. My mom had one of these icy wreaths. She actually had two of them, and I thought that'd be good for a snowy man. So there is my Snowman Sal 22. A little bit late. He's not one to sit straight for me, but he is finished. And I thank you to those who contacted me and communicated with me about how much fun you had making yours. And some of the participants weren't quite finished, so you can always check back to the hashtag Sew a Snowman Sal 22 on Instagram to see all of the finished works that might still come in a little bit after this video. And I encourage you to, if you didn't get yours finished, stick it aside and make it another time. It's really fun and just about an afternoon's worth of your time. So let me get out all the works in progress that I stitched this last couple of weeks. And then I have one quick pile of Stitchy Kindness and a book to share, just one, and that'll be it. Thanks for letting me share. I almost forgot, I had one other question about upcoming sales, or if I was going to be making a Valentine doll. I don't have plans for that. I was just going to do the winter snowman. There are some cute Valentine dolls on Etsy. I know I had seen a lot of Raggedy Ann dolls that are super cute. I might do that next year, but I'm trying to limit my crafts a little bit. I was going to focus on all these snowman crafts in January and then be a little more focused on my stitching. I have gotten a little bit behind, mostly because I wasn't feeling well and we've been having a lot of struggles in our family. Just some personal stuff I can't really go into, but it's been really, really bad and hard. And I'm just praying that things calm down, but my stitching is a good solace for that. Sometimes I've been just too distracted to even do that though, so I don't have a ton of progress on these WIPs, not as much as I wanted. I was able to do my embroidery and crafts and punch needle, but those things don't require counting, and so I think that's where I've struggled a little bit, is my mind is just a little bit unsettled, and I'm just praying for peace this year, praying for a little more focused. So anyway, I appreciate your prayers in that. This next month, let's hope we do better. I wanted to show you though what I did get done, and this isn't in any order I worked in it. I know how many days I spent on it, but I have my stack kind of crazy, so it doesn't really stay in order. The Joyful World sale, I'm supposed to give 2 days to. I really only gave 1, but part of my time was spent dyeing this really crazy fabric. I know it looks really wild, but when this project is finished, the fabric is going to be less obvious, I think. And it was fun. I was just experimenting with some scrap even weave that I was given by my viewer and friend Lynn. And I had this silky thread. I wanted to try stitching with silky, and I found this one on I think it was on 123 Stitch, and I wanted to see how that would work for a peacock, because I have a couple of peacocks and different things, and I was actually thinking of this peacock. It's a little bright, to be honest. The colors that and I can never remember her name, the lady Maja, charted this in a much softer palette, like Gemma Arts dungarees and green pasture, which I've never worked with before. But and as you can see, this is November. January is supposed to be a fox and a black crow, which didn't seem as wintry to me. I guess there's white flowers there, but I thought this looked more wintry. It even has like snowflakes. So the way our weather works, we don't get any snow in November. I know a lot of places do, but this is more my blue kind of wintry theme. And then I'm going to do this one for November with maybe a pumpkin or something. So if you're wondering why is she saying that's January, I've switched all of the months almost for the Joyful World sale. A lot of people have done this. I think it's been out since like 2015, 2016. And there's 12. So I have a really cool finishing idea. That's part of why I really want to get a couple of these done so I can show you what I'm going to do with them. But like I said, not super focused, but that is a fun thread. I don't know if you can see how bright it is. I just used some DMCs and that silky. So I hope to get back to that. We'll see. I might just have a good start on these so that they can get a good finish next year. The other thing I worked on, and I've only worked on this in the last couple days, this Yellow House sampler is an old pattern by the Workbasket. It has this dot on it because I think I got it for 99 cents at Fancy Stitches in Cleburne. And I loved the red fabric. It was when I very first started stitching, and I thought, I want to try to make some red fabric. So that's what I did. I had a couple of silks that I had purchased for this too. And they are so fun to work with. They're right in front of me because I'm sitting by my stitching cart. This is Seagrass by Dinky Dye. This is a hand dyed by Rolando. It's just called Teal Green. Kind of a fun aqua. And then another hand dyed by Rolando. I think it's just a number 42. But that's what's going to be the majority of the house. I wanted to work my way over. Last time I showed you this, I just had one lemon. So I did a lot of work on those leaves. And then if I do one more leaf down here, that's the start of the house. It's not a very big sampler, but it's so pretty. And it has her 3 sons on it, but she also includes a substitute pattern for a daughter, which, let me just flash that real quick. It's real funny. She's got wild hair. So instead of my 3 sons sampler, I'm going to put my 3 girls, and then I think I'm going to put my son kind of underneath this bird here. It's really hard to see the details on this. I think it'll be way cooler when it's done, but that was a WIP Go goal. I had hoped to put 7 hours in it. I think I put 2. And so I might adjust my WIP Go goals a little bit. It's WIP Go is a board that Jessie Marie put together, I think a couple years ago, just as a challenge for you to get WIPs out that maybe you haven't been touching, that have been just kind of sitting. And it is a good idea. I do feel like it helps. Here's my WIP Go board. I was trying to get to it. I do feel like it helps to really focus on things that maybe have been neglected, and that's definitely my situation. So here's Yellow House Sampler, that was called, and also the be a Daniel sampler, which is giving me fits, but I'll show you that here in a minute. I've already gotten next time's, it's a design I made myself that I showed in my WIP parade, and then also the spotted pig sampler. So I'm excited to work on those. This is just giving me an excuse because I'm trying to be focused on my bags, but then I want to have these old Mania WIPs looked at too. So I might just put this away and be happy to have worked on it for how long I could. The other one I worked on for 3 days, this is a focus piece for winter for me, is the Let It Snow bungalow. This is really pretty. It's kind of hard to see on my fabric. It might be a little bit too distracting, but I hope it turns out okay in the end. This garland was not done at all. It's a lot of counting I'm finding with this particular design. In fact, I had to rip out my lettering twice. And what I'm reminding myself to do, and I think it's going to work for me, is just to continue to this center point right here. The snowflake is the center. So if I base all of my lettering off of that, both directions, it should work out because everything in this design is so symmetrical. And like I said, a lot of counting. And so I had hoped to get to that house, but I have gotten to the border under it, and the house starts about right here. So I'm close to that. If I get even the bottom half and part of that house done this year, I'll be happy because I'll probably put it away in March for my cottontail farm. But it's an older design. It's still a cute one. And it has this upper piece that I really like too, called Winter. I'm not using the called for colors, very many of them are right here in front of me. But I am using Turkish red, which is the called for house color. And I added in a hand dyed by Rolanda. That's kind of a aqua color with, let's see, that's one of Frankie's that I had put aside. This is the called for huckleberry. So just fun wintry colors, kind of bluey, minty, and I think I'm using just DMC Blanc for the white, or yeah, DMC Blanc. So it's nice and bright. Lots of snow stitching though, which can be a little bit tricky. So we'll see how far I get on that one. The other one that was a focus piece and one that I had hoped to really get close to finishing. We'll see if I have a better month with it next time. Hollyberry Christmas is a favorite. I did end up finishing off my fence, putting on my little lantern here. I didn't have all the lettering in it. Now it says Merry Christmas. I did more of the holly border. I frogged on this, I think 3 different times when I was just so frustrated, like, oh, what is the deal? This, in fact, ended up being too close. It's supposed to be 2 stitches and it's only 1, but I was like, I am not going to rip all of this out. That is so much counting. I think if I got a better rhythm on it, actually what I ended up doing was taking the pattern and making a working copy and highlighting leaf by leaf, because I don't know how many times I messed up on that, and I don't think that top one is still finished. My goal next time is to make it farther along. I want to work on more of those holly leaves because that's how I base off of the other design elements coming in. I know I need to do this lady over here and the Christmas tree. So I made it over to here. I've just got some kind of lighter motifs, and of course the house was the bulk of the stitching, I think, and it's all done. So it's such a pretty piece. This is on 36 count limestone from Kitten Stitcher that I overdyed with walnut shells, and I kind of messed it up. I think it was more of a gray-y green, which I wanted, and I ended up just with a tan. So, but the house shows up nicely, and it's a fun sampler color. It's pretty grungy. So, and I have tons. I'll have a ton left over, so I have to find something good for that. And I didn't say, I've had a lot of questions about this fabric. This is 32 count Basalt from Zweigart, and it's just a painted kind of dot. And the paint isn't, or printed, it's not super heavy, but you do sometimes have to find the hole in the middle of that dot if you're stitching right on it. It does give me a little bit of pause because it's made me miss my hole a few times, but it's an even weave Lugana, so it's pretty easy to stitch on. And the other fabrics I had dyed myself. This one probably 3 years ago, so mostly scarlet and cocoa brown, maybe some black kind of the way I do my red. And then I got a newer start that I'm almost done. I think I have 2 more to show you. This one I love so much, the What Remains is Love salve. I shared with you back in I think September or October. I won this from my guild out of just out of all the guild members. I won this a couple days after my mom passed away, and I just felt like that was not an accident. So I'm stitching this for her with my good friend Ginger Shull. And I think Chrissy from Finally a Farm Girl is also joining in with a different piece, but Ginger and I are both stitching this one. And of course, this is a stitch behind Ginger piece. She's got lightning needles. But I had said 99% of the time I change all the colors. I just changed one this time. I was going to say I'm using them all, but nope, I changed one. This was a gift in the Weeks Dye Works colors, and boy, it is nice. I do notice that everything is so soft and muted. It really does look antique. But I am pumping up the red just a little bit with shades of wine instead of the, I think it's Rose Garden. Rose Garden is a little pinker than the wine. It's really subtle though. I don't even know if it makes a huge difference. In this light, you can't tell. This has a lot more darker pieces in it, and that's what's going to be used for that large flower in the middle. I went ahead and used the silk for that one. The rest of them are cotton, but I'm using the silk on that red dark color, and it's not a large sampler. It does have some pretty tricky counting. I think Ginger had a hard time with the border a little bit because it's not even. It has a pattern, but you have to really count those leaves, and like, you know, you've got birds in the middle of your border, so you have to be careful. And I love that color. Isn't that pretty? So yeah, I love this, and I am intending to work on it until it's done. It's living in my bird bag with my little coffee spill from my friend Becky. And here's the one that I have not been happy with. Roxy really is determined to photobomb here. Pardon her. This is almost done, but it is causing me fits. I've gotten off somehow where this sun was supposed to be level with the lion, and you can tell I have all this over here, hardly any over here, but I'm just gonna do this almost as like a flat fold, so it'll be okay. All the lettering is done. I made so many mistakes over here with Daniel is kneeling, and then he has his hand, which I couldn't shape very well. I had to pull it out a couple times, and I don't think I had any of this done last time I showed you, so that's a lot of rows and rows of sand. So all of this was done. My son's birthday is tomorrow. Here's my little blue-eyed boy. But like I said, he doesn't know about it. And actually, we've had to postpone his party because of my COVID and because of the snow. So I think I will have it ready by his party, but not by his birthday tomorrow. And there's the pattern. Like I said, the design is really cool. When you look at how she did all the layering of all those different colors to make the distinct, I mean, the angel has his hand on the lion's mouth and on the head of the, or the lioness, and then the big lion. And that's some tricky charting. Like, I am in awe of, is it Diane? Yeah, Diane's talent. She's really good. It's just a cute design. And I started it 3 years ago, got all the lettering done, and then just kind of got stuck. I started getting congested. So I have that out until it's finished. I can't cross it off my WIPCO until it is, and it's for my son, so that's extra motivation. I have all this laid out on a pizza pan. This is so funny, but I made this a long time ago from Dollar Tree contact paper, and I used to hang it on my back door when I was taking care of lots of baby diaper things and having to pack diapers for 2. I used to make a list of things I had to have on my way out the door so I wouldn't leave wipes or passies or, you know, all those things. And I found this in a box that we had never unpacked, and I was like, this would be good for stitching. So I put my needle minder, in fact there's a needle on there right now, and just laying my project that way. If my dog needs something, I can just set everything down. It's kind of like a lap desk. But I thought I'd share that. I thought it was fun. And I have a few things that were gifted to me. I am not purchasing any charts this year, so y'all are kind of spoiling me. I appreciate that. And some will be for you to share, and I have a book. So let me get that and I'll be right back. A little bit of a hard month with some family stuff, and then catching COVID again. It wasn't that bad, but it's been a little discouraging. And I appreciate these cards and sweet thoughts and sweet messages on Instagram. My friend Frankie always spoils me with these fun flosses that she dyes with her, is it your stepdaughter, Frankie, or your daughter-in-law? I think I misspoke last time. I'm not sure that relationship, but this is called Wendy. It definitely looks like the Wendy's restaurant lady's hair. I think that'd make a cute Raggedy Ann if I had another embroidery to do. And then this one is green onions, and then this one is baby face. So lots of fun, like springish kind of colors. Thank you, Frankie, for sending those my way. And then my friend, and I hope you say this, Jeannie, I've seen this name spelled a couple ways, sent me a beautiful card. It looks like a photo. And then this Mary making mini floral heart. I will definitely be stitching this next year when I'm allowed some starts. I love Valentine's. And this was just a Valentine to me from, I think the Lord used Eugenie because I was having such a hard day. I already told her this, but I literally cried when I opened that because I just thought, you know, why am I on YouTube? I was real discouraged. And then Jeannie sent this and I just felt so loved and so supported. And you don't have to send me anything. I'm not saying that, but it was just the timing, even a message, a kind word, a kind comment. It's been such a blessing to me to be involved in this community. And that's why I continue. I'd had kind of a negative comment that kind of hurt my feelings, and I'm really working on being unoffendable. That is my word this year. Part of my word of the year is peace, but it includes being unoffendable. And I was not doing very well at that day. So that Valentine meant so much to me, Jeannie. Thank you for sending it. And also Cecilia's become a new friend stitching Hollyberry Farm with me and sending me encouragement. That day I wanted to just throw it across the room. She sent me her start and said, you know, thank you for encouraging me to stitch this. Look how it's coming. And she was really doing well. And I was like, I can do it. I can do it. So Cecilia, thank you for encouraging me in that. And then she also sent along some charts, one of which Dahlia kind of chewed just a little bit on the plastic. But one of these will be coming up in a giveaway, and so I wanted to address that really quickly. It's coming on my 3-year floss tube anniversary at the end of February. I made my first floss tube in 2019. I can't believe that so much time has gone past, but it's been so fun and so interesting to be consistent with these videos and kind of see my changes over the last 3 years. I've had a lot of changes, more than I ever could have anticipated, and I really feel like God knew that I was going to need this support system in place and these friends that can come alongside me and be such an encouragement when my mom isn't here. I feel like I have so many friends that are just like I said, supporting me and encouraging me, and I really needed that. I think we all need that. Everyone needs that. I want to do some videos in the future about making a floss tube, encouraging people to get out there and try it. It's an interesting experience to talk to yourself in a room, but know that others are listening and that you'll get feedback and you'll get back and forth communication and just making so many good friends through the experience. So it is really worthwhile. I want to talk about that more in the future with a video idea I have, but I just wanted to thank you for coming along on this journey with me. I don't like to say that very often, this journey. I mean, life is a journey, but on this floss tube experiment that I started on a whim almost, it worked out to be such a great experience. And I am coming up on that milestone, but I also am just like 80 subscribers away from 7,000, which really blows my mind. So if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and click that button. It helps my channel out a lot. Helps just validate what I'm doing here. So I would appreciate your help in that. And I hope to have a large giveaway for 7,000 at my 3-year anniversary, which won't be this video, but our next coming video, but the end of the month. So just some, I guess, a asking for your help in that. And the other thing I wanted to share real quickly is this book. My friend Tanya on flosstube, actually she's more just on YouTube. She does different kind of vlogs. She used to be called the Sampler Girl, but now she just goes by her name, Tanya, and I'll link her channel below. But she's doing a book club in Goodreads on this book that I picked up with my Book of the Month club. It is a subscription service that I found out about because of BookTube, which is just a little niche of YouTube that talks about books. I've gotten back into reading. I know a lot of y'all read, and I wanted to recommend this book. I'm very careful with what I recommend because it's hard to find books that are really clean and don't have, you know, a lot of coarse language and things like that. And so I'm very careful in what I recommend, but this one I feel like I am comfortable in doing so since I've read it myself. And I think it's a new release. It just came out. It's a beautiful book about a woman who was an actual person in history and posed as a model for a lot of the statues in New York City. I don't know a lot about New York City. I have some best friends that live there, but I've never been able to visit them. And all my life has been in the South and West. So it was interesting to hear about this real life place, the Frick Museum, I think. And this lady's story was a really good mystery and very satisfying. It had a really good ending. So I appreciate that. When I have a really sad ending or things just turn out awful and unresolved, I feel like, boy, that was a waste of time. So I like to have an entertaining experience and a positive ending to a book. I know maybe that makes me shallow, but that's where I stand. So I can recommend that book, and I can also put my link below if you're interested in getting a book every month. I had a couple people join after I mentioned it last time. Here's a little emblem in the corner, and it's just a beautiful hardcover. I usually buy a bunch of used books and books that are real crusty and old, and it's kind of nice to have this little treat of a new hardcover each month. So anyway, that is all I've been up to over the last couple weeks. I hope to see you soon. I've already started on my next rotation with my Hawk Run Hollow, and I intend to do that. And I will show the slideshow here at the end of those that participated in the Sew a Snowman Sal. So enjoy the Snowman Parade, and please stay safe and healthy. And as I end all my videos in the book of Psalm, chapter 90, verse 17, it says, "May the favor of the Lord our God be upon us and establish the work of our hands." Have a great rest of February.